Hey Internet, a few months ago I made a video showing how much is involved in setting up my favorite board game, Arkham Horror. Recently, keichishoshuko asked if I'd make a second video explaining how to play Arkham Horror. Unfortunately, YouTube only gives me 11 minutes for these videos, so that would be pretty much impossible. Here's the rulebook though, 24 full-color pages of everything you'd ever want to know about skill sliders, Silver Twilight memberships, Doom tracks, and horror checks. I'll put a link to a PDF version in case you want to stay up all night reading it. I'll also put up a link to a really awesome Let's Play of the game by my friend Poet Fox, who single-handedly inspired about a dozen people, including me, to run out and buy a copy of this game. We went and saw Inglourious Basterds the other night, and just like clockwork, you have to listen to that one dude complain about subtitles. Usually this dude will make his comment during the actual movie, I guess since he figures that everything's in some crazy foreign language, nobody's actually listening to it. This dude was considerate enough to wait until the movie was over and we were all filing out of the theater, so he could be properly ignored. I don't really understand this objection to subtitles. Is it reading one of those skills you pick up in, like, grade school? It's not like they're covering up anything important on the screen. Okay, we've all seen those amateur anime fan subs that fill up the entire screen with neon Comic Sans because they absolutely have to translate every single background symbol and linguistic nuance in the dialogue. But it could be argued that all that jazz is specifically marketed towards a niche group who is more interested in the culture or language than the actual show that they're trying to watch. Professional subtitles aren't like that. It's just plain white or yellow text safely tucked away at the bottom of the screen. What's the big deal? I'm actually a big fan of captioning. My preference is to have it turned on whenever the option is available. I find my enjoyment of a film is heightened if I'm sure to not miss any of the dialogue. In fact, I was almost giddy when we went to see Burn After Reading and we were informed that the final screening would be captioned for the hearing impaired. Of course, we were the only two people who bought tickets to that particular screening, and the manager knew that neither one of us were deaf, so that ended up not happening. That reminds me, I need to pick up Burn After Reading on DVD so I can watch it with the captioning turned on. Digressions aside, I see no good reason to avoid using subtitles, and several good reasons to use them. Despite speaking neither language, I do recognize German as German, and French as French, so having German characters speak German and French characters speak French goes a really long way to establishing the setting. And my Americanized white boy ears aren't quite sharp enough to pick up on a German character speaking French with a German accent, but I'm sure somebody out there appreciates it. Really, the mainstay alternative is everybody speaking English with a faux British accents. People from Rome to Russia to Middle-earth have been portrayed in American cinema as having faux British accents. Some studios take it a step further by having all the characters speak with a faux British accent except the top-billed superstar who just can't quite pull it off. So we're treated to a perfectly American hero surrounded by characters who are the closest thing Europe has to Americans when some other ethnicity might have been more appropriate for the film. Which then goes on to win 4 Oscars including Best Cinematography and Best Adapted Screenplay. Maybe that's the point of it though. Maybe folks like that level of comfort of seeing something familiar in an otherwise foreign setting, and that's where the distaste of subtitles comes from. Anyway, Inglourious Basterds is a Tarantino film. The deluxe version of the DVD will probably include nostalgically bad voiceovers. That way, everyone can enjoy the longest game of 20 questions ever put on film, regardless of whether or not they can read the subtitles. See you guys next week.